coming into round 27 on the schedule for Phoenix. We are down to 10 races to go. It'll be 9 races after this. Nick Mace won the Sony Pole Award in qualifying after a bad weekend at Las Vegas, which looked promising at the start. Nick Mace looked on pace to win at Las Vegas after pulling away late in the race, but a collision with lap car Jordan Davis, who had wrecked under the previous caution with Dom Caps and Mace taken out in one single caution flag. And near the end of the event, it allowed Jesse Turner to pull in the championship, and Turner now has a 1.5 point lead on Dom Caps and 2 whole race wins on Nick Mace in the point standings. Jake Bassinger came away victorious when a great battle with Jeffrey Lynn down the end, and he ended up getting his 4th win of the season. Can Bassinger get a 5th win of the season? He starts 6th today, but how about Nick Mace on the pole? Can he rebound and win here at Phoenix? For Phoenix International Speedway, this is only the 2nd time ever we're ever racing here, and Nick Mace won the first time back in 2016. He looks pretty quick, could possibly do something, but Jesse Turner starting 9th, gonna try and make it difficult on him to make up as much points as he would like. Turner consistently running very, very well. Does Turner look like the one that's going to close out the championship this year? Gonna have to wait and see. Bassinger is closed in the gap. He's less than 100 back. Is this a 4-horse race now, or is it still 3 cars, or maybe only 2 left after Mace's troubles at Las Vegas? Gonna have to wait and see. The green flag's coming up. 156 laps of racing, just a little over 150 miles of racing this evening. Nick Mace is looking for redemption from Las Vegas to get his 3rd win of the season and 31st career win. But Ryan Acosta, who has won at least 1 race every season since 2015, is alongside of him. He's winless so far this year, starting 2nd alongside DJ Curtis, Ryan Griffin, Sean Harple making up the top 5. Here we come. Phoenix International Speedway, we're racing! How about Ryan Griffin up the middle, 3 wide for 2nd position on the opening lap. DJ Curtis, who started 3rd, trying to move his way up the order. Ryan Griffin pushing forward. What a move by Ryan Griffin, throwing it 3 wide on the opening lap. And around the outside of DJ Curtis on the inside of Ryan Acosta. 3 wide works for Griffin. Griffin from 4th to 2nd on the opening lap. Caleb Hoffman is having issues. The leader in the Rookie of the Year honors is on pit road. Further back on the grid, Dom Caps has slid back to 9th. Gonna try and push his way back forward. Turner falling outside the top 10 early on. Running side by side with Davis, but 3 wide with Dom Caps. Trying to get around Sean Harple, who has slid back a few positions. Jeffrey Finguy, who had a good opening first couple of laps. 3 wide. Title contender Dom Caps trying to make some run. Can't quite get Sean Harple there in the 25. Harple holds him off. It looks as though Jesse Turner is struggling on the opening lap. He is down to 14th under fire as Charlie Smith trying to push his way by. That's a battle for the 14th position. Smith in 15th. Sanford back there in 16th. But Jesse Turner looks as though he's not getting the acceleration off the corner as good as everyone else, and he is struggling right now in the early run. However, for his title rival, Dom Caps, who came in this race 53 points back, it's looked as though he is pulling his way back towards the front. Caps underneath of Bassinger. That position is for 6th, and he got 6th at the line, moving his way towards the front. Oh, at the front of the pack, Ryan Griffin from 2nd spot is blowing up. Ryan Griffin, who has not won a race all year and is sitting there in the top 15 in the standings, looking to find a win for Martin Motorsports before the end of the year, was sitting there 2nd, running down Nick Mace, and he just blows the motor. And when Ryan Griffin blew up, Ryan Acosta actually had to lift a little bit, and it opened the door for Matthew Rodriguez to get to his inside, and eventually would end up taking the 2nd position. But you gotta wonder if that's gonna end up making any of the crew chiefs worry down the pit box, especially the Martin Motorsports cars for Rodriguez and Caps, that maybe their engines may expire in this race. Rodriguez up to second, Curtis looking for third. Further in the back, a good hard race for ninth. Jeffrey Guy trying to get around Jeffrey Lynn on the outside, but look at here. Dejon Weeks on the inside of all of them. 3 wide, heading into turn 3. Weeks slides a little bit. Guy taking the long way around, but Jeffrey Lynn, like a bulldog, just gonna take that position away and hang on to the 9th spot. Matthew Rodriguez is running down Nick Mace at this point in the race. 2/10 quicker than Mace last lap. Ryan Acosta seems like he is holding up the drivers behind him. Caps, Jenkins, and Curtis getting real aggressive with Acosta, trying to get around him, but Acosta is just playing such a good defensive line and able to hold them off for now. But Acosta just does not seem like he's that quick, but he is doing everything right now to hold off his competitors and holding on to a solid 3rd place. Turner could possibly be in some more trouble. Charlie Smith and Charles Sanford have caught him yet again, and Smith has gone by, and here comes Sanford looking to go by. Turner has dropped to 14th, could possibly drop back down to 15th here. Turner really struggling with his race car. Will definitely need to make some strategy adjustments under this pit stop coming up. And possibly only going to need only 1 pit stop today. Casey Lester, the rookie of the race right now, also going to try and take that position. Turner struggling with his race car. Up towards the front, the battle for the lead. Mace and Rodriguez, we've seen this battle before. These two have had run-ins all year, it seems. And Rodriguez has not taken some of the incidents he's been involved with Nick Mace very kindly. And some of the off-track comments from Rodriguez shows that he is pretty displeased with Mace, so I wouldn't be surprised if Rodriguez roughs up Mace a little bit for this lead here. Rodriguez looking for his 4th win of the season and trying to get his 10th career victory in the Sony Cup Series. Many drivers this year have ended up closing out and getting their 10th win of this season. Caps, Bassinger, Turner have all done it. Rodriguez is the next closest one on win 9, looking for win 10. He's going to have to get around one of the best in the series, Nick Mace. Playing really patient right now. Behind him, his teammate, Dom Caps, has gotten to the inside of Ryan Acosta. This is the first time anyone's been able to really get alongside Acosta. Acosta really has seemed like he's been struggling with his race car, but he's been holding everyone off, but has not been able to do it now. Caps has pushed his way into 3rd, as we're going to take a look further behind for Jesse Turner. See where he is. There he is in a big fight with Casey Lester. That's for the 15th position. Trying to hold on. Lester's back in 16th, or let me see. Lester's in 16th. DeLeo's in 17th behind him. Turner, like we said, under pit stops, he's going to really need to adjust on his race car. Up towards the front, Rodriguez is looking to the inside of Nick Mace. Here at Phoenix, Matthew Rodriguez trying to take it away. Nobody's been able to pass Nick Mace. He started on pole and has led every lap so far. Rodriguez got to the inside, but Mace just sailed it off in there and made it rotate through the corner, and Mace holds on. Caution flag is out on the racetrack. Luis Hernandez got spun around in turn 4 and just spun in the barrier there on pit road, and the caution flag is out. We do not have a replay of this incident, but Hernandez, his day is done. And yet again this year, Matthew Rodriguez's pit crew stumbles in pit stops. They were having problems getting the tires, the lug nuts on the tires, and Matthew Rodriguez is going to lose some spots on pit road. Trouble for our title contender, Jesse Turner, the point leader, on pit road for a very long time. You gotta think, the pit crew is making some major swings to that 17 Ford as he finally rolls off pit road. Jesse Turner's team looks as though they have made some serious adjustments on that pit stop. That has dropped them down to 29th. Well, as we come back to the restart, I believe we're going to have one more pit stop. I think it's a little too early, but we're going to have to wait and see. Turner's troubles is Mace and Caps' benefit yet again, but they have to be able to finish the race. They were very, very fortunate at Las Vegas to have an opening for something to happen, and they ended up getting wrecked and lost valuable points. Steven Jenkins on this restart, however, is like an animal all over Dom Caps. Made it 3 wide around the lap car, Stephen Pollard III, and Jenkins looks as though with the fresher tires, trying to get around Dom Caps. And Pollard III really sliding on his tires back there. Mace pulling away on this restart. Jenkins underneath of Dom Caps, not really helping him out anyway. But Ryan Acosta holding on to a 4th place. Matthew Rodriguez dropped down to 5th on that restart after a bad pit stop for him. Jake Bassinger underneath of him as they continue to fight. Dom Caps around the outside trying to hold Jenkins off. Jesse Turner trying to work his way back through traffic to get back towards the front. Turner is up into the 24th position with a pass on Zachary Fitzwater. He's got some more cars to go. Phoenix has proved to be very tough to make passes on, but Darlington is a track considered to be tough to pass on as well, and he came from 42nd on the grid to win the race. So Turner gonna try and make everything he can out of this and get back towards the front. Another engine failure on the racetrack. Scott Roush in the Maverick Motorsports Ford is going to fall out of the race in the 2nd engine failure of the day and the 2nd Ford car to blow the motor. Nick Mace in the 48 is really pulling on the field. He looks like the best car today. Dom Caps looks like he's actually struggling with his race car. Steven Jenkins has laid down the fastest lap of this entire race, but Jenkins seems to be struggling to get by these drivers. He sits there in 3rd. Rodriguez and Weeks have scooted their way underneath of Ryan Acosta. He's falling back some positions and outside the top 5 for the first time today. Bassinger trying to get around him now. Curtis and Smith, and also Harple making up the top 10. And there's Matt DeLeo trying to crack his way into the top 10. But looking further back, Jesse Turner in the 17 Ford. He's been kind of struggling to make his way through the cars, but he is still creeping his way up there little by little, trying to get around the lap car, not the lap car, but the John Art machine in 21st. Turner sits in 22nd. In the midst of this all, Sean Angel in the 34 is making his first Sony Cup Series race this evening. He's running 33rd and outrunning Cody Lamas, who has a Mace ride at the end of this season. So Lamas really struggling with his race car. He is down in 34th. But Sean Angel, first Sony Cup Series race of his career, making his debut, racing hard with Cody Lamas. Pass for 2nd unfolding. Dom Caps needs to try and protect this position. Remember, points mean so much in the title race. Caps trying to do the crossover. Can't quite get back at him. Steven Jenkins, who has possibly been one of the best cars here today. He's got the fastest time around this entire track of any driver in this race. And Jenkins is into 2nd. Cap's going to lose some positions, possibly to the lap car of James Shelley. He lost a position to Matthew Rodriguez just then, lost out on that battle, and he's going to go up the middle on James Shelley. Loses a spot to Bassinger as well. Could possibly lose a position to Dejon Weeks, and it looks as though he will. Yep, he will. Man, there's a lot of sliding out there on these old tires. Really hot out there right now. And Dom Caps loses a position, but he's trying to fight back on Dejon Weeks. Trying to take that position back away. And there may be some pit stops going on. Looks like there's cars pitting. Andreas Allen, Sean Harple are on pit road. And we're going to see pit stops unfolding. Looking back at Jesse Turner, lap 111 of 156. Turner has creeped his way up to 17th on the order. So he is still a ways off. So this is not the typical race for Jesse Turner. You can just tell that he is struggling. And Mace is taking every opportunity to eat into this point lead of Turner's and get everything he can. But Turner still trying to fight with his all. He has been struggling to make passes. He's underneath of Levi Pasco. That's for 16th. But Pasco's been pretty solid as well all race weekend. Been a top 20 car. Trying to be get in the top 15. But he looks as though he's going to lose out. Turner trying to creep into the top 16. Racing with Levi Pasco. He's going to get that position. Some of our leaders are making the dive to pit road. Dejon Weeks trying to do the undercut. Trying to make sure he gets tires before everyone else. And be able to gain some time on the guys in front of him. Nick Mace is going to come down pit road. He has led every lap of this race, but he's going to hand the lead over to somebody in this stand of pit stops. Steven Jenkins is going to come on in. I wouldn't be surprised to see Dom Cap stay out, but he comes on in. Leaders are all coming down pit road, except some lap cars. Everyone coming down pit road. I don't know if Nick Mace is going to hand the lead over to anybody. Brock is going to stay out an extra lap, but Nick Mace is already past the scoring line. So, when they come back around, Brock, unless he has a pit stop later in the pit road, nobody will be able to take the lead from Nick Mace. And how about that? William Brock is going to get credited with leading the lap, and this is William Brock's first lap lead of the entire year, and it's on pit road. Sean Harper with some pit strategy to pit a little early has leaped into second position now. Stephen Jenkins is in third, and Dejon Weeks, who performed the undercut, like we said, pitting early, trying to get tires before everyone else. And Weeks is into fourth, Bassinger down to fifth. Rodriguez has dropped a little to sixth. Seventh is DJ Curtis. Eighth is Matt DeLeo. And down in ninth position, Dom Capps, who didn't have a very good pit stop. Charlie Smith in 10th. Ron Acosta down in 11th. Gonna look for Jesse Turner. There he is. He made pit stops, and he is still back in 16th position. Turner has worked his by. Casey Lester now trying to work his way around Charles Sanford. Sanford drives it in. This is the highest we've seen Jesse Turner already since that pit stop where he dropped so far down the field. And Turner at the line will edge Sanford, and that moves him up into 14th position. I believe it would be. Yes, it does. So Turner up into 14th, making his way back towards the front, but I don't know if he'll have enough time to get back in the top 10 and score a 19th top 10 this season. He is trying to salvage what he can of a bad day. Jesse Turner has been clawing his way towards the front since this pit stop. You can just never, ever, ever count this guy out. Look at him underneath of Charlie Smith. He just passed Jeffrey Finguy and Charlie Smith to move his way up to 13th to 11th. Right behind, oh boy, right behind Stephen Pollard III. Here comes Finguy back at him. Jesse Turner getting after it late in this one, holding off Jeffrey Finguy through that corner. Man, oh man, if Turner can salvage a top 10 out of this, it'll be a great day for him. He's got to get up there to Ryan Acosta, which he possibly could do. Jesse Turner and his team are so good at recovering from a bad race day. They're in 11th position after falling as low as outside the top 20, and they have just been off all weekend, it seems, in terms of speed. But man, is he fighting back. This is like a big old dogfight for second position. Sean Harple has it. He's trying to get right here one of his best finishes in his entire career. Harple trying to hold off Jake Bassinger, who's in search of his 5th win of this season. And he's underneath of him. Bassinger just sailed it off in there, possibly going to get second off the corner. Stephen Jenkins, teammate Dejon Weeks is there. They're racing hard. Bassinger moving his way into second. The battle for 9th position is on. Ryan Acosta racing door-to-door with Matt DeLeo for 9th, and there is Jesse Turner trying to get into the top 10. Matt DeLeo just sails it off in the corner to try and hang on to the 9th spot. Ryan Acosta is there, but here comes Jesse Turner digging up off that corner. Here comes Acosta, going to try and fight back again. A good run for both Acosta and DeLeo. Acosta returning to Allen Family Racing Team for next year. Matt DeLeo going to Fuel Brothers Racing in the 83 car for their new team. Say new team, but they're bringing it back for Fuel Brothers Racing. But Jesse Turner has been the man all year. He has struggled the last 4 races and has had to overcome adversity. Turner dropped as low as 29th in the order, and it was just so off the pace early in the race. And many, many pit stops later, adjusting on this race car all race. And Turner trying to go by Matt DeLeo here. This is a battle for 10th to get into the top 10. Turner eyeing a 19th top 10 this season into 10th place. Teammates racing door to door. This is for a battle in the 6th position, I believe. Yes, it is. Matthew Rodriguez has it. Dom Capps is wanting it. Every point will matter. I will say that all the way to the end of this season. It really will. And Cap's trying to gain just another point on Turner. No bonus points for either Turner or Caps. They have not led a race all. They are not led any point in this race. Turner 8th of Costa. This is for 9th. He is closing his way in, and Caps has got to be sweating just a little bit. He has ran a good race all day, but he is falling into the clutches of Jesse Turner, and he is creeping in. Don't look back now, but Jake Bassinger is closing in on Nick Mace. The gap is down to 4 seconds. So Bassinger, who's worked his way into second, is going to give himself a fighting chance here at the end of this race, if he can get by the lap cars quick enough. But Nick Mace, who has led every lap but 1 lap so far, is looking to close it out. The battle for 4th is looking very interesting. Dejon Weeks has 4th, but Sean Harple trying to get it back. With the lap cars in the way, Harple to the inside. Side by side, Harple has the edge. Oh, a little bit of contact it looked like. Very, very close racing. Dejon Weeks trying to fight back. Cutting up the middle. Oh man, what some good hard racing. Weeks squeezing up the middle past Hayden Klein and Sean Angel. And Dejon Weeks hangs on to 4th. What a good battle that is. Jake Bassinger, with 10 laps to go, has ran it down to only 2.5 seconds. Bassinger trying to come out of nowhere and steal this win, and trying to get his 5th win of the season and back-to-back wins. Mace better not look back now. I know Nick Mace has dominated this race, but Bassinger is trying to close it out. It doesn't matter how good you do in the whole race. It matters how you finish it, and Bassinger is closing in. Here we are, with 4 laps of racing to go. Jake Bassinger has really closed the gap now on Nick Mace. Bassinger is closing in, trying to win back-to-back races. He is in the picture now, really closing the gap. When we come back to the line, it'll be 3 laps to go. Passing on this track has been tough to do. But can Bassinger pass the car that has not been passed all day? Nick Mace, who has dominated this race from flag to flag. A lap and a half to go. Nick Mace continuing to lead, but his huge lead he had is gone. Lap cars could possibly play a role in this. Coming back to the line, it'll be the white flag one more time around here at Phoenix. And James Shelley kindly gets out of the way on the right side. Bassinger is there, but it's not going to be enough, I don't believe. Bassinger has made a heck of a run in this last couple of laps, but it is not going to be enough. Nick Mace is going to close it out, it looks like. Bassinger is on his back bumper. Not going to be able to do anything. Nick Mace is going to hold off a hard charge in Jake Bassinger to win his 3rd race of the season. Nick Mace holding off a hard charge in Jake Bassinger at the end. Bassinger gave it a heck of a try at the end. Oh boy. Jake Bassinger. That was a heck of a drive by the Georgia native to almost win back-to-back races. But it's not going to be meant to be. Nick Mace is going to come out a winner at Phoenix, leading 155 laps of the 156 laps that were ran. The only lap he did not lead was when William Brock led whenever he stayed out an extra lap. But Nick Mace basically leads all the laps. Same thing that Jordan Davis did at Richmond. These drivers, the Mace Enterprises cars, they're looking really quick. They have looked quick all race weekend. They have looked quick all year on the short tracks. And Nick Mace with South Boston and Richmond just up ahead. You gotta think Nick Mace is licking his chops in the championship. Gonna try and make up ground in the title race. But with Jesse Turner finishing right there in the 9th position, only 2 spots behind Dom Caps, it's gonna be tough to do down to the end of the season. Let's get you to our finishing results and standings after round 27.